What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Queen and Slim, new movie out in theaters. Hopefully it's still out in theaters by the time this episode comes out. It's kind of a smaller movie directed by Melina Matsoukas, starring Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner-Smith. Daniel playing Slim and Jodie playing Queen. Pretty simple movie, I would say. If you've seen the trailer, then you basically know what's going to happen in this movie, I guess. The big kind of thing that sets the movie off. Queen and Slim, they're on a first date, like a Tinder date. And on the way home, date kind of didn't go so well. There wasn't really much chemistry there. And on their way home, they get pulled over by a police officer. And, basically the thing that's kind of been happening to black people in this country and probably shades of brown as well, pretty much any non-white people, they get treated a lot differently. And the movie starts in Ohio, where they're on this date, which, I know some people in Ohio, that kind of area, Ohio, like the Midwest area. There's a lot of racism. Let's just say there's a lot of racism. I mean, there's racism in a lot of places, but in that kind of middle part of the country, like you look at how Wisconsin treats people, watch Making a Murderer. It's not far off from how they treat normal people. They like turning people into criminals there. They love throwing their people into cages. I think that's why a lot of the people are anti-government. They want a smaller government because their state government treats them all like criminals. But anyway, so they're getting pulled over by this white cop in Ohio. Things go sideways as the trailer shows and as life shows. And from that point on, they're on the run. And this movie, I would say, reminded me a lot of Thelma and Louise, which if you haven't seen Thelma and Louise, it's a great movie also. It's not necessarily about police brutality or racism or police becoming murderers. It's more of, two women who are escaping abusive marriages or, spouses. And a similar thing in Thelma and Louise happens that kind of sets them on the run where one of the two, I forget which one, Thelma or Louise, is attempted to be raped by somebody. And in order to defend herself ends up killing the guy, and Thelma and Louise are now on the run. So a similar thing happens in this movie, just for different reasons, where the cop clearly was acting like a piece of shit, and the woman, Queen, is a lawyer. Both of these kids are, good kids. Slim doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. Queen is a lawyer. Like, they're educated, smart. They just happen to have more melanin in their skin than the cop who pulls them over. And in an attempt, Queen, of course, she wants to film what's going on, because clearly the cop is being a racist piece of shit and abusing his authority. And in that, he thinks she's going for a gun, shoots her, and, in an attempt to save her life, Slim runs into the cop. I mean, all this is in the trailer. Runs into the cop, gun gets loose, cop comes after Slim, bang, bang, cop no more. So they're on the run. So it's good. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. It's very simple. There are some slow moments in the movie. It's a very simple movie, as I've said 1,000 times already. There's not a whole lot of actors. It's basically them on the run. People trying to help them out on their way. A lot of people in the African-American community helping them out, seeing their story. Of course, the dash cam for the police officer was recording and saw everything that was happening, and it went viral online, and now Queen and Slim have become kind of like figureheads for the protest, like the Black Lives Matter protest. It really should be police officers shouldn't be allowed to murder people. I think murder should be kind of an equal opportunity kind of sentence for human beings, and just because you wear a badge uh, doesn't give you the right to end a life. I mean, guns in general. I've said it many times. I think should be way more difficult to murder me. Like my life is worth more than your ability to curl a finger, because that's all you need. That's the only kind of human physical requirement you need to have, is the ability to curl a finger, and then you can just kill people. So it's like, until we recognize how ridiculously simple it is to end human life with those tools, maybe we should have more respect for those tools, and not let everybody have access to them, including police officers, especially police officers. If a police officer has some racist tendencies, maybe they shouldn't be in charge of people in a town that's full of different races. Maybe they should just go find another job somewhere. You know. So anyway, so they're on a run, and through their trip, they find different people. They get into different situations where they're trying to just, the plan is simple: stay alive and keep moving. Because they're trying to get away, because there's nothing they can do. They know what the system's going to do if they catch them. You know, aside from cops being able to murder people, pretty much maybe they get like a suspension at work. Maybe they lose their job. I don't know if any of them really go to jail, or any of them actually, get charged with murder. But it's definitely the system set up against anybody that's having to defend themselves against a police officer. And they know that, especially she knows that, because she's, a lawyer. I don't know, not very experienced. She's young. She's probably just out of law school. Maybe she's pre-law. I don't know how it all works, but she's very educated on how the system works. And, they kind of, and the thing is, they're also forming a kind of a bond as they run, because the date didn't go well. The Tinder date didn't go that well. They didn't really click. And she actually reminds me a lot of me. Likes her alone time. Doesn't really, not really. It's not a priority in her life to be in a relationship. So through this, you're seeing their relationship kind of grow, their connection grow and blossom. So it's a kind of a beautiful movie in that sense. You get to see, there's a scene where I don't know where they are geographically, but they're somewhere in the South, and they're just tired of running. Slim's just tired of running, and he's heard music playing as they're driving on some freeway, some highway, trying to get to Florida. And he pulls aside and basically asks her for a second date, and to go dancing. He just wants to dance, and she's scared. She doesn't want anybody to find out. They tried to change their look. She has her relative. She had an uncle that's basically a pimp, and she goes to him. I mean, if you're now a criminal, now you need the help and assistance of other criminals, people who kind of live that lifestyle as a profession, to be a known criminal, to be just a successful criminal on the outside of the cage instead of inside of the cage. And she goes there. They go there to get advice, get help, and they also change their lookup. So despite changing their lookup, they're still known. People still recognize them, and she's scared if they go into this bar that something's going to happen. But little do they know, they have friends. They have allies out there that see what they're doing. They don't agree with how they were treated. They don't agree with the situation, and they know that even though it was a situation where they're just defending themselves, they know how the system works. They know how police work and the government works, and they don't want them to become another statistic of two good people being thrown into jail for probably the rest of their lives because of what they would, I would assume, be charged with murder of a police officer, even though it was self-defense 100%. So yeah, it's just a good acting too. I really enjoyed the acting. Visually, I thought it was because there's so much empty space in this movie. Uh, it's very much relies on the camera work. It relies on the actors. It relies. I mean, the dialogue and the things that happen in this movie. I enjoyed, but it's a movie that's good. I don't know if you should go out, run out, and go see it, but it's a well-made movie. I think the director's amazing. Did an amazing job. And yeah, it's really that Thelma and Louise kind of a story, but more of current times, current issues going on. Not that women aren't still getting raped, but it's just politically different perspective and viewpoint. But I enjoyed it. Go out and see it. Queen and Slim out in theaters if you get a chance. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!